It is, today is a throwback day. We're going to throw it really, really, really far back, really not that far, 50 years. 50 years ago today, Blake Shelton was born. Now ask me who one of my favorite entertainers are. Yes, Blake Shelton. He started the rhythm of getting music back to your roots. He wrote the song, he sang the song, he got back to our roots. And today, we're going to get back to our roots right here. There's an empty seat sitting over here, but it won't be empty for long because I'm bringing somebody over here and we're going to talk about his roots. We're going to talk about your roots. We're going to talk about the opportunity we all have to plant a seed to sow the future. We can do this. It's like if you spend some time with a kid and you teach a kid something, you are sowing the future. You are sowing a seed in the future of the United States. We are 250 years old. That is a big to-do. That's a really big to-do. And so we're going to talk about what made America great, what made America scary. There were things that happened on 9/11. There were things that happened. There were so many things, from President Reagan being shot at, President Trump being shot at, from Charlie Kirk's assassination. Do you know, I was so hopeful for America because of Charlie Kirk's roots. He was the most grounded, smartest young man I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what his IQ was. I don't know how he determined, how he knew so much about so much. But he was amazing. He was the roots of America because somebody taught Charlie to pay attention, to love the Lord, to just be the best that he could possibly be. And so today, I'm going to share two of my favorite songs with you, and we know we'll get a copyright strike on it. We know we'll get in trouble and da-da-da-da-da. But I want you to hear these songs, and The Baby is one that Blake Shelton did. That was, excuse me, my stuff is still there, but it's getting so much better. The Baby is that song that you say, oh, every family has that baby, and everybody says, oh, that kid's rotten, it's the baby, yada, yada, yada. Well, often the baby learns from watching the older children. Don't make the mistakes they did. Watching the older children, maybe get more involved than they did. Watching the older kids, and sometimes the babies are just rotten. They're just rotten, and we can't help it. We make them that way. But when we look back at our roots, we are where we came from. And not everybody came from a perfect home. I was thinking about Rick Jackson today. And when I look at the fact that this man is a billionaire, he is going to be elected our next governor. We're gonna pray it, we're gonna speak it, we're gonna put the word out, and we're gonna plant the seed for greatness in Georgia. Because when I realized, hey, this election isn't over, we've got to plant the seed of hope for Georgia, because Georgia's not hopeless. Now, if you went to Atlanta today and you left there and you watched the news and you realized that maybe you were a block away from a shooting that ended in violence and death, if you were a block away from an armed robbery, if you were a block away from a stabbing on a MARTA train, if you had to go to the doctor in Atlanta today, you would be absolutely, I would be shaking in my shoes. I can't go to Atlanta anymore because I've seen what happened to Atlanta. We cannot let that happen to Georgia. So we have to work hard to plant the seed, to grow. We begin from roots, and we are going back to our roots today, and we're going to talk about how important it is. Tell your kids, tell your grandkids, yeah, you think it's not interesting, you don't want to get involved in politics. If they're old enough to vote, get them registered to vote. Teach them that we have absolutely zero control over politicians once they get in office. They do what they want to do. You have to hope that you elect somebody who will do what is good for America. We're 250 years old. We didn't get here by ourselves. And so today we're going to talk about going back to your roots, and you're going to get to hear a couple of my favorite songs, and one of them, I just absolutely love this song, and it's the only song I know that this guy does, but I love this song. and I wanted to share it with you. So I said, you know, when we look at America, we have seniors in high school that will truly, oh gosh, that's so scary. They're getting out of high school and they're going to face college or work or maybe not being able to find a job. They're going to face reality, because the reality check hits when you get out of school. And you're like, oh, I have to buy a home, I have to plan for the future, so let's plant the seed, start the root growth, and the root growth has to be strong. And we're going to talk about that, because my guest he has strong roots. He has really strong roots, and you'll know his family. And I said, it's so crazy to me, because when you have the foundation that a kid like he has, you have a great foundation. But what if you're a kid like Rick Jackson and you didn't have a great foundation? What made him so strong? What made him so positive? What made him determined that he was going to do all that he could possibly do to be the best that he could be? It worked. He's going to be our next governor. We're going to declare it. We're going to pray it. We're going to say it. So stay focused on our future, because the 250 years before us, we can't change anything. We can remember it, we can learn from it, and we can live by it. We can say we saw mistakes made, and we're not going to make those same mistakes. We are absolutely not going to make those same mistakes. So today, you're going to get some good music. You're going to get some of Mr. Ellijay's music, and then we're going to listen. A lot of his music is about his roots. His roots came from poverty. They came from walking around barefooted a lot and learning from his mama and his daddy and his granny and his grandpa, learning from his roots. And that's what it is. Maybe that's why he's so successful, because he came from not very much of anything, and they worked hard, and they gathered, and they put it together, and they did well. But it takes learning from your roots, and so we're going to talk about that. Also today, Miss Hilda just got confirmation, so I gave away 9 people get to go see Shenandoah this weekend, because Miss Hilda gave me tickets to give away, and everybody won them, and it's all set. You will pick up your tickets at will call at the Georgia Mountain Fair, the ticket window. Just go in and say will call, and you've got your name will be in an envelope, and there are your tickets. I'm so thankful that she shares with us, so we want to share some good news from her. She booked Tanya Tucker for October the 17th. And ZZ Top, and that is one of those that y'all love, that concert. You love that. ZZ Top will be there on September 22nd, and I think that's so funny. That's my mama's heavenly birthday. My mama would be, golly, how old would my mama be today? Probably 96. 96? How could my mama be 96? Yeah, she'd be 96 today. That's crazy. But ZZ Top will be there singing on September 22nd, I guess, celebrating my mama's heavenly birthday. So don't forget, that's 2 new concerts that have been added to the list. And the list is long, lots of things. So remember what we talk about today, because when my guest comes out, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, because I'm going to be giving away more tickets. Not for this week and not for the Clint Black, but for the next concerts. So just remember that. I'm going to be giving away more tickets, so pay attention to what we talk about. And we are going to be getting back to our roots. We are going to be doing what we need to do to look back and say, how can we learn by the mistakes of America, and how can we be a part of making America the greatest, absolutely the greatest nation in the world? We are today, but how can we keep it that way? So, and don't forget, Tanya Tucker, October 17th, that's the last night of the Fall Festival. And then ZZ Top, September 22nd. And then Guardians of the Jukebox, we are presenting a deal to them to have them there. This is going to be the coolest thing, because it is the Thanksgiving week. You know, the Thanksgiving week is when the Christmas lights start. So on Thursday night, the Christmas lights start. Friday night, Christmas lights. And Saturday night, if all goes well, there is a Guardians of the Jukebox, first time ever at Anderson Music Hall. It will be, you will absolutely love this concert. You will leave there going, and you'll just be feeling so good, and you'll be loving the music and loving everything about it. So we're excited about that. And again, that is a tentative date. They haven't signed off yet, but they said it was available. So November 28th, hopefully we will all gather at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds and hear some of the 80s music. Man, they are great. So can't wait to share that. Well, we're going to go to a song, and this kind of set the stage for what we're going to talk about today, because we've got to get back to our roots in America. We've got to get back to common sense. We've got to get back to basic manners, respect. If you know, I bet your granddaddy would say, I went by the bank today and I talked to Mark Whitfield and we shook hands on a deal. That's the way the world was set up. And your granddaddy probably told you, you're only as good as your word. So if you tell somebody you're going to do something, follow through and do it. If you tell somebody what your intentions are and you don't do it, then say, hey, something came up and I couldn't do it. Something happened and I couldn't handle it. Okay, just do it, be responsible. And so we're going to talk about that. But this song, it's called Get Back to Your Roots. And I want you to just sit down and listen to this song. And don't know anything about the guy who did it, didn't do any research about him, but when I hear the song, it gives me hope. And today, America, as we celebrate 250, we need a little hope. We need a little bit of planting good seeds for the future. Here we go.
I still believe in Jesus and the power in his name, that a sinner washed in the blood is set free and changed. Believe in church on Sunday, and the word of God is true. Oh, but I think it's time we get back to our roots. We need to get back to praying and seeking Jesus' face, getting on one mind and one accord, and let him have his way. Can start revival is well overdue. But I think it's time we get back to our roots. We need to preach the truth, no matter how hard it is. Oh, we ought to be telling the lost, Jesus is coming back again. There's still power in prayer, by faith mountains move. Oh, I think it's time we get back to our roots. Yeah, we need to get back to praying and seeking Jesus' face, getting on one mind and one accord.
guess who my guest is? And we're going back to your roots. How old are you?
I'll be 26 next month. So.
26?
Yeah.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Uh-oh, I knew. Sorry. Hello? Ah, really? You just woke up? Oh, well, no, yeah. Uh-huh. Well, you need to turn on the TV so you can watch, because we're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about your roots. I'm going to talk about Tracy's roots. Going to talk about my roots. We're going to talk about roots. You know your roots molded you, scolded you, and probably helped you or hurt you, just depending on how you take it. Yeah, I know where your roots come from. Yeah, I've been there. I know where the cemetery is, where you're going when you leave here. Yeah, I know where else you're going to. Yes, yes, I know. Yes, I know. Uh-huh, yeah. Yeah, you need to write a song about your roots, because there's one that's really good, and we just played it. Tracy, is that song better than Dwight's?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Tracy didn't think so. So you're still #1 with us, yeah. Even though you can't get out of the bed. You couldn't fix your hair. You ain't got no hair. You could have come on, put your teeth in and come on. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we still love you. All right, we're going to play you music. All righty. Bye-bye. You go back to sleep now. Get you some rest. Bye. Lord have mercy. We've got to give him a hard time because he has a new band. And his new band is fantastic. And you're going to get to hear him soon. Yeah. They're going to do some concerts, and we're going to share some of it. And you will be very surprised at his band members. It's not Elvis or any of them have come back to life, but it's some pretty good entertainment. And so they're working on some stuff to do some gigs, and I just get real tickled because, you know, I make fun of old people and call them old geezers. Well, I'm older than any of them. So if we went back to my roots, Lord have mercy, what a story, what a story. And I started writing a book, and then I realized, oh, boy, this is telling a lot of stuff I don't know if I wanted to tell. But your roots, your surroundings often mold you. Rick Jackson left his roots and his molding and created in his own self. And we're kind of proud of the fact that we have a chance, we have a self-made billionaire who can fund his own campaign and go after, and I don't ever say her name if I don't have to, but her name is, let's see, KLB. That's, yeah, we'll just call her initials. But anyway, that's who he's going to have to go after. Well, both of those people have roots. And his roots started in Atlanta on Techwood Drive. And you've never been to Techwood Drive housing project, so, no. But I have. Yeah. My grandmother lived there. Oh. So our roots started in Dawson County in pure poverty. And because my grandfather was stricken with multiple sclerosis in his 30s, they had to move to Atlanta to be near a hospital that he could get to often. Because when you think about it, we're talking over 70 years ago. We didn't have rural hospitals then. Mm-hmm. Were you born in a hospital?
Yeah, I was born in Kennestone.
At Kennestone, okay. So back even 26 years ago, people were driving a long way to get to a hospital. That's our roots. We didn't used to have good hospitals. We do now. We didn't used to have local doctors. We even have specialists now. When we start with our roots here in the mountains, we didn't start with much, but you know what we started with? A heart for the community. And your grandparents were a big part of the heart of this community. Yeah,
my papa preached for 70 plus years. Still goes to churches and funerals and stuff. So I mean, yeah, he's been, everyone, you can ask who Wallace Parks is and they'll know who he is.
Everybody knows your roots.
Yeah.
This is the one bad thing about everybody knowing his roots. He could not do anything wrong because somebody would pick up the phone and call and say, well, Wallace, I saw that trace, and you know where he was at, and he had no business of being there.
Yeah, either that or my parents would find out about it, because everybody knows my parents because of them. So,
That's right. Yeah. Well, what a joy to come from those roots.
Yeah,
a solid foundation.
We were talking about it earlier, having the way that I was brought up. I think it was not much of a common sense thing. It's more of a Christian way. It's basically really how I would rather put it than the way that I put it earlier. I learned a lot of things, not just from my grandparents, but from my parents as well, and everyone around me that I've grown up with.
Right,
So,
yeah. Makes a difference. And now your brother is married and has a child who's almost Xana's age.
Yeah, he's going to be 4 in August, I think. Yeah.
And so is your brother following through with planting the seed in his child's life that your parents planted in yours?
Oh yeah, I think Drake will have a very bright future, just like I did. So for sure.
And that good foundation. And we think about not everybody has the opportunity to have a good foundation. And I have a dear friend that I just love her. And her daughter is 30. She just got her master's. Very, very smart, very level-headed, very grounded, and a good girl. Super smart. She came from a foundation of 2 parents who taught her, who spent time with her, who nurtured her. They were older when they had her. I think she was they were almost 40 or 42 when she was born.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit older. That's almost like grandparent age today. But she learned so much from them. And the other day, the mom told me, she said, I am so proud of my daughter. And we all, because I wasn't around my biological father, I always tried to achieve more and more and more in case my daddy came around.
Yeah.
Because I wanted him to say, oh, I'm really proud of you. Well, he never did. He never did. So not all children have that strong foundation. Not all children, but they can meet a teacher.
Yeah.
They could meet a neighbor. Somebody could make a difference in a child's life. And so I think that's important today, especially because, I'll just say this. I was pumping gas last night. Let me tell you where the cheapest place to buy gas is. I'm not cheap. I'm just watching my money. $3.49 last night in Ball Ground, Georgia, and I used my Chevron little app thing, and I saved 25 cents a gallon. That means I got it for in the 3.20 cent mark. And this morning on the radio, they were talking about the gas prices in the nation have just gone under $400 or $4. And I thought, no wonder everybody's moving to Georgia.
Yeah.
We have good gas prices. We have a good way of living. We have great things happening around us. We have controlled growth. We have nice people coming in. But as I'm pumping gas and I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm watching, this dude pulls up, and my granny would have said one sentence, he ain't from around here.
Oh yeah.
So
That's a good one.
I'll just say, I don't know how to describe him, but I went, oh, like that. And he had a lot of adornment jewelry in his face. Do you understand that?
Well, when you're saying he's not from around here, it makes you think, I see a Florida tag, and that's the first thing I think of is that.
He ain't from around
He
here.
ain't from around here, yeah, at all.
Yeah. But this guy, I looked, and he had all these things stuck in his face, all these things,
yeah.
jewelry.
Pincushion.
Yeah, yes, that's what it looked like. And I can't concentrate on what I'm doing for going, holy cow, what made you do that? We don't know what makes people make the choices they make. But if they have, going back to your roots, if you have a good foundation. Now, my mama and my daughter were very, very, very close. My mother did not like tattoos in any form, shape, or way. And I came in one time with a little bitty, not a real tattoo, but I was teasing my mama, and it was a little fake tattoo. And Mama went, oh no, that won't fly here. That will not fly. And I said, well, what are you going to do about it? That was the wrong thing to say.
That was not a
She
good thing to
jerked
say.
my neck, about broke it. So that's what you do. You teach them right and wrong. And Mama said, if you go on a job interview, you want to look like you could be president of the company. You may be going for the janitor's job, but you want to look like you could advance, you could excel, you can do better. No matter what position you start in, you can do better. Now, you started here 4 years ago.
I did, yeah. It was
And we saw you over here in the camera yesterday.
Yeah, no.
As you were videoing Donovan.
Yeah, I remember that too. I think I still got my video that I took of that. Yeah, no, that was like my first week or two here, I think. But yeah, that was when I was working 2 jobs at the time. That's why you see him wearing church clothes.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
You know,
That's
how
right.
it goes.
Yeah, and it's crazy, y'all. We have the opportunity to mold America, but we have to reach out and we have to say, hey, that kid could use a little guidance. That kid could be taught that you don't show up for work if you didn't brush your hair. You don't show up for work looking like you just crawled out of the bed. You don't do that. And Mama, from the tattoo to when I got my ears pierced, she let me get my ears pierced, but she said, now you understand there would be no other body piercings. And that was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was before even all that stuff came, whatever it came to. I don't know what started people doing that, but it's just not for us. Not for me, not for, but it's like the tattoos. My daughter challenged me. And she started getting tattoos, and we had war about it, and I gave her my mama's speech. It didn't take. She said, Mom, it's a form of art. I said, I'm sorry, I just don't get it. And the day that she was about to get in my pool, and she took off her shirt, and she had a butterfly on her back, I thought I'd have a heart attack, and I just nearly did. But she had great love for people. She was a great human being, but she loved them tattoos. And my mama would have made her cover them up with makeup.
Yeah, no.
My mama would have been a lot stronger than I was.
Don't blame her there.
So we lay the foundation, and we hope that it takes. Well, sometimes you get little different things, but she was such a good person. We fought about the tattoos for about 20 years. And then I finally shut up, but I would not let it go. Sometimes you have to let it go. And I finally said, okay, shut up, Sherry. Don't say anything else about her tattoos, although it did drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And I said, you just teach them, you show them, you share, and you hope that it takes. Now, when you think, your grandparents have been married 60 how many years?
65 years.
65 years. 65 years. That is going back to your roots of growing and laying a solid foundation.
Yeah.
A solid foundation. Now, what's Miss Carol's maiden name?
Duval.
Okay. Was she raised like they have lived their lives, or did she have a good life?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
she
No,
have a hard life?
they were, I think, honestly, my my papa and my babble pretty much grew up the same way. I felt like that way from what I've been told and what I've seen and stuff. So I think it's really no different than they're not really any different from each other.
Yeah,
really.
And today people say, oh, it's so hard to meet somebody.
It is.
You know where you meet people?
Yeah.
Where'd your parents meet? Church.
Well,
in church.
I don't even know if I don't know if my parents did. I know they did. I know my grandparents did. I don't know about that. Yeah, no, you say even church. I mean, it's become increasingly harder to, no matter if it's church or whatever, because of how it is nowadays.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different
world. It's
very
different, yeah.
It's very different. So, and one of the things I've seen happening, and yesterday, God, y'all, please say a prayer for this family. 41-year-old dad suddenly went to be with Jesus yesterday, leaves behind several children. He was a pilot. He had a plane. He flew his plane around. God had perfect timing there. What if he had had his children in his plane flying when he suddenly died? God's plan is perfect. We don't always like it. We don't always agree with it. And sometimes we scratch our head and go, you're kidding me? Your reaction when Charlie Kirk died was just like mine. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable that the future of America was taken from us. I would never have lived to see Charlie Kirk as president, but I believe that Charlie Kirk would have been president of the United States.
Yeah, I honestly think when I've thinking about it, and it's been almost a year now, which is insane to think about. But I think if anybody got killed in that way, it would be shocking, because you don't see that a lot. You don't ever. You see that with Donald, with the president, and really high up people. But for somebody like that, or anybody just regular person, it's definitely, it was a shocking thing. I remember just seeing that happen, and seeing just a regular person getting gunned down like that is just
unbelievable,
crazy. Yeah.
And he was the future of America. So we go back to Charlie's roots. His parents, they must have been genius parents, because his brain, he could talk to anybody about any subject. And he learned, he listened, he read, he would confront anybody and say, hey, you tell me how you feel about it. It wasn't confronting them in a confrontational way. It was just saying, hey, let's talk, let's have a conversation. And I think that's what we need to do in America today. I think we need to get the people who know the roots where we came from and sit down and talk to kids, because there are kids out there, I've lived it and seen it. The parents get up, they jump up, they go to work, they da-da-da-da-da, they come in, they're tired, they're late, the kids say something, they say, oh, I've had a bad day, don't bother me. That's not how you raise children.
Yeah.
You sit down with them at the dinner table and you have a conversation with them. You say, how was your day when you see them, if you're lucky enough to pick them up from school and you have that ride home from school, you say, how was your day? Because in America today, not all kids are facing good days.
No, I mean, you got to at least acknowledge that your kids exist. I mean, that's a big thing, especially with people my age, and you know, there's a lot of people that I went to school with and people around the area that are my age that now are married, have kids, and it's like, and then a lot of them are divorced and stuff, and it's just like, you know, you gotta. And they have kids too, not just that. Right. But that's just a very common thing, and I've noticed, like, when, you know, they're like single parents, is like there's some of them that don't acknowledge their own kids, and it's like, what changed? What is the difference?
Go back to your roots.
Yeah, and it's weird how everything's, you know, distorted and changed and stuff in a long time.
I have a generation of, because I'm the oldest, I think I'm the oldest of my cousins now, and we go back to, I adored my grandmother. She was like my everything. And she and my mother had a period of time that they didn't get along because they disagreed on some stuff. But my mother was headstrong, you know, a little bit like one of the children I raised. Headstrong, gonna do what you want to, whether it's right or wrong. And my grandmother said, well, she'll learn the hard way. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
You'll learn the hard way. You are known by the company you keep. You are as good as your word. That still stands today.
Well, there's an easy way and then there's a hard way.
That's right.
A lot of stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we can tell our kids, but does it take? You can't just tell them one time.
No.
You've got to, you know, sit down and say, look, this is how you get through this life. This is how you make it through America. This is how you make it through your goals in school. You know, something that never happened when I went to school was bullying. Did you see bullying when you were in school?
I was bullied in middle school, and then, you know, I had to act on it to get it to stop, because I didn't know it was bullying until later on, and then, you know, you gotta, you know, act on it. But yeah, it was a prominent thing just like it is now.
Yeah.
With anything else. I mean, whether it's in school or in real life or, you know, whatever.
Yeah. It's crazy. I have somebody who's facing some problems with her job, and she got a new boss, and I told her, I said, it sounds to me like the boss is threatened by you, because you've been there 22 years, you're very successful, you're super smart, and I think the boss has the job but realizes that she's over somebody who's probably actually smarter than her.
Yeah.
And often that is how people treat you badly, because they look at you as either competition or a problem. And maybe you could step up and take their job. So it's weird how we treat people differently. But going back to our roots, the roots are you treat people as you would want to be treated.
Yeah.
And that's how you treat people. And you're respectful, and you do what you say you're going to do, and you abide by. There are rules of nature. They're just rules of nature. You be kind, you be good, you try to do for others. You try to keep your word. You don't take advantage of somebody. You don't steal from somebody. And the things that we've seen happen in Atlanta has huge murder rates. It has all kinds of crimes. There's so many things happening 60 miles from us. And somebody asked me, they said, why did you leave Atlanta? And I said, oh, I don't have a piece of paper long enough to tell you. It started because of crime, and that was many years ago. It started because of crime. We are lucky, knock on wood, the mountains have had some drug problems.
Yeah.
There have been super drug problems in all the areas that we serve. I think that they're kind of getting a little bit of control on that, which would be really, really good. But often if you see a child in school struggling, maybe her parents had a drug problem. Maybe you need to dig a little deeper, dig into the root of the problem with that child. It's probably not the child's fault.
Yeah.
It's her environment.
It depends, yeah. I mean, I honestly think you're talking about, Atlanta and, crime and stuff. I feel like, with any urban city, really in America, and there's always that issue of like crime and stuff because you got so many like a big population of people, but it's slowly seeping into the other smaller towns now. If you go to like Canton or Woodstock or stuff like that, it's like slowly like making its way up.
Oh yeah.
Slowly, not really fast, but it's slowly moving up, and I think that just goes with any state that you go in America. It just slowly spreads. That's just that kind of thing,
Yeah. Maybe we need to
slow it down. Slow it down.
Let's
even
slow
more.
it down.
Yeah.
I know a couple of weeks ago in Woodstock there was a road rage shooting on Highway 92. How many times have we all been on Highway 92? Whether it be go to the Krispy Kreme, which is on 92, or go to the KFC, which is up the road. There are many times that we've been on Highway 92. Would you ever think that in Woodstock, Georgia, somebody would shoot you multiple times because you did something in traffic they didn't like?
And people don't think it's going to happen. Well, it happens when you least expect it. All the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have seen crime grow in Canton, Georgia. And is it the population? Is it the kind of people who are coming there? Is the disrespect for life? And when we talk about life, there is an element of, we've seen teenagers shoot somebody and rob them for $20 and kill them. There's no respect for life. And life it's a sacred thing. I mean, God gave us this life, and I think he gave it to us hoping that we would do the best that we could with it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of hate in the world now than there ever was, I've noticed. And, it's just spread out so much. I mean, like what you're talking about, getting killed for just taking $20, it's just like, it's really pointless. And, you see all these, like the Charlie Kirk situation and all this stuff. And it's like, that's all I can really add it up to is it's just so much evil's been spread out and hate into the world that, it's not, you can't really control it anymore. Hardly.
Well, we're going to play a song right now. We'll get a strike for it too, but I don't care. This is a song. Today is Blake Shelton's 50th birthday. He's done a lot of music, and I've got his DVD of his best hits. This is the song that all mamas, all grandmas relate to. So today, sit back, fix yourself a cup of coffee, and listen, because we're going to hear Blake Shelton explain what it means to be the baby of the family.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
If you or your business are looking for local advertising opportunities, we have sponsorships available for new programming coming soon on ETC3. Contact us at 706-697-5591.
Y'all come by and see us anytime you can.
ETC is connected to our community. We provide communication services that connect friends and family. We're connecting with our neighbors through support of local causes and events, connecting our students and schools to a world of learning resources, and connecting you to the latest technology with local customer service. Learn more about our community connections and fast, reliable internet. Visit etcnow.com today.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Okay, we're going to get back to our roots, and we're going to talk about the fact that these mountains are absolutely full of talent, of families who for generations, at least 5 generations, sat on their porch and picked music. Now, we've been able to share with you music of the man, the legend,
Yep.
the legend,
Yeah.
Mr. Ellijay.
Yeah, for 4 years now.
4 years. The music truly takes him back to his roots and what he did and what he loved, and the song he did for his daddy, the Daddy's Lunchbox. That was really a day in his life, and it was a day every single day because his dad would come home. He would have saved a biscuit for his son.
Yeah.
Now, you know his daddy's out pulpwooding, sawmilling, doing whatever he's doing, hot, sweaty, tired. He had a biscuit in his lunchbox that he didn't eat. He saved it for his young son. That's the kind of roots we want to come up from.
Yeah.
We want to come up from parents who care more about their children than they do themselves.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't see that happening.
No, not as much anymore. No, not really.
Yeah, it's very different. So if you make the decision to be a parent, maybe you should put parenting first and not your job, not your I got to go out and party Friday night, I got a ball game I want to do, I got this, I got that. What if we put the children first?
Yeah.
And I think that's important. And I think that Dwight Sanford is one of those examples of a mom and a dad who love their children. And you learn that. He was really tight with his mama. He loved his daddy. The foundation is there. The foundation is there. And they actually taught him music, and they were both musically talented. I don't know if either one of them ever wrote music, but he has written so much stuff, and much of it is about Gilmer County. Do the guys know what we want them to play, or are they just going to select something?
They have their favorites. I don't know. I have mine, so I usually play just whatever.
All right, let's go to some of the music that came out of these mountains because a mama sat her little boy up on the bed or on the table and said, here, pick this guitar. And he did those 4 chords, and then the rest is history. You know him, you love him, and you're going to get to hear a little bit of what Mr. Ellijay enjoys doing.
Y'all want to do one for AIM? This one's for Daddy. Abraham. The oak tree sure has grown, and my, how time has flown since we walked together on this land. I still love Daniel Boone, and I stare up at the moon when I remember times you came to see the band. My favorite childhood day. You never let me down, and you never wore a frown. You always found a way to smile and say, I saved a biscuit for your son, and up that rocky hill I'd run to the old oak tree up by the washing stand. Things were really different then, but I'll always remember when I took your big black lunchbox from your hand. Memory of you, Dad, of all the happy times we had when everything was simple back at home. But the ages rolled away those days, and the family has parted ways. Words can leave things empty, and hearts can roam. Well, I've seen more days without you now than I saw while you were with me. And Daddy, I sure hope you understand. I thank you for the biscuits, Dad, and I thank you for the smile you had as I took your big black lunchbox from your hand. You saved a biscuit for your son, and up that rocky hill I'd run to the old oak tree up by the washing stand. Things are really different now, but I'll always remember how I took your big black lunchbox from your hand. Oh, Dewey sure has grown, and my, how time has flown since we walked together on this land. There stands the old oak tree, and a precious memory where I took your big black lunchbox from your hand. There you go, Daddy.
Guess what else came out of these mountains? Fiddlers. Fiddlers. What's going to be happening Saturday?
So June 20th, Saturday, we're going to be, some of the guys are going to be on to cover the Fiddlers Convention in Blairsville. It'll be the third time that we've done it, and it'll also be on Sherry's YouTube channel when we get it done, because Sherry is a sponsor of the Fiddlers Convention. So,
and the Fiddlers Convention is true talent that came out of these mountains, but it's true talent at very young ages.
Yeah.
Y'all start with children.
Yeah, they do. I think they start the event with kids, and then it goes into the adults and stuff. But they have like competitions for each one, and it's pretty interesting to watch.
It's pretty cool because I don't know if you've ever picked up a fiddle, but you got to be talented.
Yeah.
You can't just pick up a fiddle and make it work, and it is tough. But there were so many people in the communities who picked up a fiddle, and I think about Paul Jordan down in Ball Ground. There's so many people who are gone from us, but they had that natural God-given talent, and it is so weird to me. God gives everybody a talent. My daughter was the greatest florist that ever lived. I can't sing. I can't. I didn't get a talent, but I can talk.
Yeah, yeah, you can. Yeah,
I can talk.
Yeah.
Celebrating the years that we celebrate here, no teleprompter, no script, no flying by the seat of our pants. And during the first of the show, we had a problem with my mic. That's live TV. Yeah. We're live. And that is something that we can bring you good news, we can bring you bad news, we can bring you sad news instantaneously because we are here live. And that is the coolest thing about what we do.
It's very neat.
It's real. And if it's like I go in there and say, okay, Trace, you got to do this, he can make it happen. He has learned to magically do things.
I've had to learn over these 4 years. I've had to learn, yeah.
He has, and he just says, I think I can do that.
Yep.
I can do that. I can do that. And it's just crazy. But I think live TV will always be my favorite thing because what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't have a lot of the news stuff now, you know, where they doctor it all and everything, but like when you do like talk shows and stuff like this, there's no way that you can, you know, make it go a certain way that you want it to go. You just do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. And I hope that today you will tell your friends, hey, why don't you tune in? Why don't you watch the Sherry Show? We do go straight to YouTube, and you started doing that a couple of years ago, maybe?
I took over, Tim used to do it, and then I took it over from him when he had his child. And then I've been, I was really the front runner to try to get your old stuff on YouTube because I thought,
I think that's so important.
People would really wanted to see that because I archive everything in the studio, and I think I know more than most people how important it is to have all the stuff from the past and just have it saved somewhere because, you know, it might be the last time you see it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we have Papa Jack talking about the Korean War. He had never been able to do that. We did that here live on ETC.
Yeah.
And that is one of those moments. There are so many moments in life that we have been able to capture. And today, I challenge each of you, go spend some time with an older person, capture the moment, and learn and listen because we are truly planting the seeds of tomorrow's America as we celebrate 250 years of this great nation. Please be that person that makes a mark on today's part of this world.
Yep.
Isn't that important?
Yep.
You want to tell your grandparents how much you love them?
I love y'all. I know y'all are watching somewhere.
We love you. We love you. We
Don't
love
wave at
you.
me, Aaron. Stop.
We love you. We love you. Our crew's in there waving. Y'all have a great, great day. Do something for somebody else. You will be blessed over and over and over. Bye, y'all.